What up? It's your boy Big Vern here at the App Stupid Studios. Thank you all for liking and subscribing, sharing the content. We appreciate it. It goes a long way. On a rainy and dreary, wet Monday morning here in the Midwest. Great show lined up for you today. North Carolina football is officially a joke. And find out why the Tar Heels have been getting away with a scam for so long. Now it finally caught up to them, and it was for the world to see. Nebraska chokes again versus Illinois in a game that I told a lot of people that Nebraska, they don't score a lot of points in the second half of games. And that's going to be problematic when you get to the Big Ten, when you got teams that just won't go away and they'll continue to fight. Florida fights back. Shout out to Billy Napier. I told you all I like Billy Napier, but the things that were just happening to Florida just made people shake their head. Now they're 2-2. I like Florida right now. I like the fight. I don't think that they're going to go ahead and have a masterful schedule, but he's not laying down. He hasn't dialed this thing in. Good for him. Clemson, they finish off North Carolina State as they should. And then Indiana is a really dangerous team that could play bowl spoiler. We'll get into that, those stories and much more when we come back from a quick 20 from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Verb. Roll the clip. Yes, BK, have it your way, because you rule. Order online, download the app, or visit the good folks at your local BK Burger King, because you rule. So, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into this thing. And if you're a North Carolina Tar Heels football fan, your football is actually pathetic. James Madison hung 70 points on the Tar Heels. How is that even a thing? Y'all got a basketball number put on y'all. And for quite some time, North Carolina has avoided playing in the ACC championship game. They've avoided playing any devout competition. And then when they go to a bowl game, they get their heads shattered. And you say, well, wait a minute, where's all these winning records? And we can see why. If it was ever a cherry pick situation, they're backfired, this was one of them. There's no way James Madison rushed for 223 yards against North Carolina. I don't know what the hype is about Mac Brown, but he's lost a step. They hung 70 points on the North Carolina Tar Heels at home. This was bad. 25 first downs. They was put in that third down efficiency where they had to convert the first down. They was put in that position 14 times. They converted 6 of them. They couldn't get their defense off the field. And then you have to look at the other side of the ball. North Carolina was put in that same position 9 times. They only converted twice. Now, if this was any other coach, they would be looking for their resignation. But I don't know what it is about Mac Brown that they won't say, hey, look, the game has passed you by. Dude, you all got beat 70-50 by James Madison. Not a Alabama, not a Georgia, not a Clemson, not an Ohio State. You all got decimated by James Madison. And it's no slight at James Madison, no disrespect, but it's James Madison. In the era of NIL, you got this much money flying in the program, you got all of this going on, and you all get beat 70-50 at home. Not on the road, at home. Not a neutral site, at home. This was embarrassing, and it was really hard to watch. Give me a quick 20 from a rap album we're promoting. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. I know you ain't gonna believe this, but we got another rap album we promoting this month. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. It's your boy Big Vern promoting Hush, Kingpin, and Ninth Wonder, the Super GOAT, in stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My personal favorites on the track is Rewind, The King is Born, Friends, Famous Poet, The Waviest, and Already. Get it in stores. The Super GOAT in stores now. Yeah, shout out to Hush, Kingpin, and Ninth Wonder. But we back on these Tar Heels, man. Y'all got 3 fumbles, 2 interceptions, and this is y'all playing at home. And I know when we last left off, we were talking about how bad North Carolina football was and how they've been able to perpetuate this scam of constantly being, oh, they're a good team. They just don't make the, no, they're a bad team. The reason they're not in the ACC championship games is because they're a bad team. There's no way around it. This is the same college that had Mitchell Trubisky. This is the same college that birthed Drake May. This is just bad football. I just want people to understand what they're seeing. This is just bad football. Again, no slight at James Madison. They came in, they handled business, they balled up. You got to give them all the props in the world. But North Carolina is a living, breathing cartoon right now. You have the oldest coach in history sitting there on the sidelines, and you mean to tell me he can't dial up some stops? He's the oldest coach in college football. He's seen everything up and down. He was part of one of the greatest college championship games ever between Texas and USC. And you mean to tell me you got all of this football knowledge and you can't stop James Madison? How ridiculous does this sound? And they made guys, they had no resume. They made some of these guys look like, wait a minute, we're missing some guys. And it's a guy you'll see in week 4, Alonzo Barnett, the third. That dude, he went off. 34 throws, 22 completions, 388 yards, and 5 TDs in one game. 5 touchdowns in one game. That is ridiculous. This dude was pretty much, he was on Super Saiyan levels. He leveled up. He had the aura. Homeboy came out like the last dragon and had the glow. Come on, bruh. Y'all North Carolina. It's insane. The Russian collective. Because a lot of people really don't understand when you go back and you look at what this kid was able to do. And Barnett just announced to everybody on a national level with that game, hey, look, if it's a guy that you all aren't checking for that may be a hidden gem, I'm him. Because that 388 and those 5 touchdowns through the air, this dude also had 13 grabs for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. It was him versus the world, and he was comfortable in those shoes. Like I say, he was comfortable in those shoes. Nobody is going to hold you and sit up here and okay, I understand. Hubris and ignorance. And you know, you can go down that level. But he's too small for the NFL. He got all the heart in the world, but at 6 foot and he's a quarterback, unless he's lighting it up like Kyler Murray and those guys, I really can't put him in that conversation for a Sunday player. But his heart and him knowing how to play and how to run, he can easily walk into the league as a receiver. He can easily walk into the league as some sort of one of those small third slot receivers or a primetime second. Because the kid has the wheels. This year, he's not having a bad year. He's at 742 yards, 7 touchdowns, and a pick. He's not having a bad year. But let's not get lost in his sauce. Let's get lost in North Carolina's ridiculousness. Again, they made this dude look like he could not be beat. They made this guy look like, hey, look, national media, you're missing a kid in a high-profile situation. And that's fine. We will entertain that all day long. But if we're gonna go ahead and keep everything on par, these dudes, North Carolina only had 21 points in the first quarter. 21 points before halftime for North Carolina. And if you go back and you look at James Madison, they had 53 points at the half. 53 points at the half. How could that even be imaginable? This is mainly what most teams put up. This right here is what most teams put up for the entire game. They did this in a half. And right now, if you're a North Carolina fan, you've got to be feeling the heat because that is unacceptable. If this was anybody else other than Mac Brown, you'd have firethisdude.com shooting up right now. But I could be wrong. North Kakalaki, let me know, do I got it wrong? Are you all some sort of good, or are you all right now the laughing stock of the ACC?